Hello, hello, hello. It's a Tuesday. So, you know what that means. It's another fun and fabulous time. And I'm not, oh, goodness, you know, it's the usual. The will it, won't it? Will it go live? No, it won't. Yes, it will. And let's see if we can get some comments. I doubt it, but that's okay. At least I can see what you're seeing, which does help me. So it means that I stay on the screen that you can actually see. So anyway, today I'm going to be playing with Scenic Adventure. I think this set is really, really pretty. It's also very, very popular. So if you like this set as well, say hello, tell me where you're watching from. Fiona was usually watching from her craft room. So, but tell me where in the world you're watching from. That's what I want to know, not which room you're watching from. Anyway, this set has, as you can see, 3 different trees. It has water, clouds, really nice phrases. Can't wait to see you again. And some fabulous coordinating dies. Look at these. So you've got mountains and then trees. This will create little tiny stars and a moon. This is water. The tree line, obviously, and then bushes and then flowers. Look at this, super, super cute. The crossed logs and then the flames, so you could do a little camping fire. I think it's adorable. Now, I did a class last night for my coffee shop card class, and this was one of the cards that we created using this set. So let the adventure begin. You could say let the journey begin. Cheers to another adventure. Cheers to another journey. So it could be a retirement card for sure. So I thought that having shown you this using it on a card, I'll show you how to use it on a scrapbook page. So here we go. I'm going to try not to make this too long. So now I could actually just take this card front and just do the complete thing there, but I thought we'll put it together online so you can see it. Now I've gone ahead and done some of this ahead of time just to make it quicker, things like the edge distressing, but I'm going to do some of the stamping online. We're going to use Pool Party ink and Pool Party cardstock, so that way we get that tone on tone version that you know I love. Okay, and I've buried the stamp. So what we're going to do, just gently kissing our stamp to the ink, kissing our stamp to the ink, I'm just going to stamp along the top edge because we're not actually going to see, and I've got some tissue here, so if I've got it on my glass mat, it doesn't matter. We're going to tear it. I'm going to do another layer because I am going to tear it, and we will offset it this time, and that way if I'm going to tear into that image. I'm going to clean all of my stamps right at the end, so I'm not too worried about it right now. I'm also going to stamp some words. I'm going to try and get all the stamping and inking done out of the way ahead of time. So it says let thee and begin, and we're just going to stamp it top and bottom on there, all in the Pool Party. It's very faint, and that's okay. We're also going to stamp some words on here. We're going to stamp adventure. This is garden green. That's the colour of the cardstock I'm using. Again, keeping the same colour ink and the same colour cardstock to keep that tonal feel to it. So let the adventure begin. And that is from this set here, the Stylish Shapes dies, and I used the smallest of these 2 larger dovetail pieces. And again, I will let's move that out of the way because it's inky, and that will remind me to clean it, right? Okay, let's get that out of the way. And then you can see that I've also got the crumb cake ink pad here. I'll come back to those pieces in a minute. So what I want to do is I want to stamp some clouds up in this corner, but I need it to be second generation. So I'm just going to take a little bit of scratch paper, and then we'll take that cloud image in the crumb cake just very gently into the ink pad. We'll stamp it off, and then we will stamp it somewhere like that, very, very faintly. I know it's there. You're going to say, Sarah, I can't even see it, but it is actually there. And that, again, we'll put that block there so I know to clean it. So you can see the difference between first and second generation. Okay, so yes, it is on there, just very faintly. Now, I have taken some of the pool party cardstock. This piece is 1/2 inch by 12. And let me go ahead and put some adhesive on it. And then we're going to attach it to, I seem to be off camera slightly, so I'm going to try and move across. I had to move around on my desk of some items, and obviously my camera stand has been moved across as well. And I also took some of the Country Woods paper. So you can see it's this really dark, almost like espresso color on the back. And then you have this really nice wood paneling effect in the greys and the browns, and it will go with the cardstock I'm going to use. And again, I'm just going to butt it up against that pool party piece. This piece is 3 inches in width by 12 inches long, so sun inches, Kokero Juni inches. Okay, and I'm going to attach that right up against that pool party piece. I'm just making sure that it lines up. There we go. So again, kind of that crumb cake pulls in some of this brown, but the cardstock I'm actually using is basic beige. This is basic beige, so it is almost the same color as the second generation crumb cake. It has a grey tone. It's not as brown as crumb cake. It has more of a grey tone to it, and I really, really like it. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to add some of this gold ribbon. It's a gold mesh, I think it's called, and 165715, and you can see it's really pretty, and it reminds me of fishing net. That's why I wanted to use it. But it's not a solid ribbon, as you can see. So how do you attach it? Because obviously I want to wrap it around. If I was going to just wrap it around the paper, I would have stuck it to the back of the paper and then attached it. But I actually want to bring it onto the blue. So if I glue it around the back, let me turn it round and bring it over to the back. If I glue it around the back, obviously any glue is going to come through the holes, which obviously we don't want. So what I'm going to do, and I did cut a couple of pieces earlier on and they seem to have gone missing, but that's okay, it doesn't matter. I will find them as soon as the video ends. I'm just going to cut a couple of pieces of scrap paper, okay? I am going to take my adhesive and I am going to run my adhesive along the back of those of that piece, and then I'm going to literally sandwich, she says, just trying to hold it out of the way while I line up my paper. I'm just going to sandwich that ribbon between the cardstock and my base page. Okay, so again, we'll fold it over. This one is just a little bit closer to the edge. I've cut this one a little bit shorter. Doesn't matter. I always leave about 1/2 inch and pull it down, and there, that is now attached to the back of my page and is nice and flat across the front. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I need to bring it onto camera so you can see. So it's only glued down at the back. It means that if I wanted to, I could slide embellishments underneath it, or I can layer embellishments on top, but it's not going to go anywhere because that cardstock will hold it in place. I know that it doesn't show on the camera, so very well. So make sure you watch tomorrow, and I will post up the photo for you. And my next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually add some journaling lines to my 3x4 piece of white cardstock. Okay, and as you can see, I've already distressed the edges of it, but it doesn't matter. So bringing up my Stampin' Up paper trimmer, I'm just going to put it in. The first line I like to do 1/2 inch from the top. Okay, and then the next line I eyeball it, and it's somewhere between 1/4 and 1/2, which would be 1/3 of an inch, but there's no official measurement. I just literally eyeball it. It gives some text. You know that this is my new favorite way of adding journaling lines without you being so obviously being able to see them, because they add texture. They give me a line that I can follow along with my terrible handwriting. And I don't necessarily want to see drawn lines on it. So I'm going to turn it around this way and come this way now. Same, about 1/3 of an inch. It just makes it easier to line up. And that last line is literally on the bottom, but we'll put one in anyway. And I'll hold this up to the camera so you can see it. Nice and easy. Okay, so I'm hoping that if I hold that up, you can see those lines as they catch the light. So now I've got a nice line. It gives you that texture, but you can you'll be able to follow the lines and they're not so in your face. Okay, let's attach these pieces together. I've already gone ahead. So this is 3 by 4. This is the basic beige. So this is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, and this is 3 1/2 by 4 1/2. So 1/4 of an inch bigger on each piece as you go. So let's just add this pieces and let's just stack them up. And I've done exactly the same thing with my photo mats as well. So just adding, see, the backs of my stamping dimensionals have got stuck in my adhesive. There we go, let's take it out. The house is covered in little white hexagons. Does anybody else have that issue, or is it just me? Okay, and as you can see, I have edge distressed all of these pieces ahead of time. So let's do a production line, and this is what I do when I'm doing my own. I'll go ahead and put all of the adhesive on the back, and then you can flip them over and just glue them down. It becomes like a scrapbooking factory. Okay, so you can see that when I put this photo mat, we'll be able to see those clouds just behind. And again, I've done 4 by 4 photo mats, and I'm going to actually put these down with the stamping dimensionals. Okay, this is where all the little hexagons come from that are all over my house. They end up, because they're slightly static, so they end up stuck to me inside my shoes. I just went to wash my hands and to rinse out some blending brushes and found one inside my shoe. Okay, I'm not going to stick these down because we are going to use the blending brush in just a minute. We're going to add some blue to the background just so it looks like sky and my clouds aren't just sitting there doing nothing. Okay, but let's just get these down and we will again try and get that straight. There we go. Nice. And yes, I've put one in the middle because we don't want to be stingy with our 3D foam tape. We want to know that our photos aren't going to sink in the middle, because there's nothing worse. Nothing worse. Lots of 3D foam tape. Okay, beautiful. I'm going to put my photo mat over here. I know that. And I'm going to make a scene to go right here. So I'm liking the way this looks. So I'm laying my photos down because I just want to make sure that I'm putting colour in the right place. So we need some colour here, and I'm going to need some colour here, and I'm going to put some here. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, that tells me where to put it. So always use your photo mats as your guide. Right, blue ink, the pool party. There's a theme here. We're stamping with it. We're picking it up on our brush. So round and round in circles. You know the rule. Goes a teddy bear. Okay, tap it off on your scratch paper, and then we will build up some colour. And I know not all of this is going to be seen, and that's okay. It just gives a little bit. We'll pick up some more, round and round in circles. You can say that. It'll remind you to do it. Round and round in circles like a teddy bear. 1 step, 2 step. All right. I used to say that to my children when they were little, and I now say it to my little bird, to my little grandson, who is climbing like a mountaineer as well as trying to stand and hold on to everything. So as I say, some of this won't be seen, and I'm okay with that. It'll give me a good idea. Now, I can, just like I did right at the very beginning, come back in, put your mats down, put your photo mats down to see if they're in the right place and you've got the colour in the right place. And yes, I think I do. So I'm happy with that. Okay, so before we go any further, let's glue these pieces down. Okay, so let's just line it up on my mat. And again, just like before, we're going to go through, work smarter, not harder. Go ahead and put the adhesive on the back of all of your pieces. Okay. Now I'm going to use a straight edge or a ruler. Apologies for this one. I'm still using it. I love it. It works. And it's the one I have to hand. So we're going to come in 3/4 of an inch from the edge. Sarah. This is where it's going to get, because my label is in the middle. Okay, that's all right. We'll just slide it along. And I know I want to come in 3/4 of an edge, so we'll just line it up with the 8-inch. You'll do it on the 12-inch, obviously, because you won't have your names stuck to yours. I do. Here we go again. So 3/4 of an inch in from the edge. And I want to have this piece about 1.5, no, a bit further down. We'll do 1.25 inches from the bottom, I think. And then this one, yeah. Come on. Yeah, I like that, about 1/4 of an inch. So it's about 6-inch mark. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then this one is going to be, so this right now is on the 6 3/4. So we'll do this one at 6.5. Look at that. And we know it's at 6 inches because that one told me so. So I'll pop it there. And we are good to go. Look at that. Beautiful. All right, so now let's build up this scene that goes here. Okay, so some of these pieces I've already gone ahead and cut out. And we have my stamped piece, which I've put down somewhere. Here it is. And we're going to work on that. All right, so here are the dies that I've already cut. Okay, and I've gone ahead and I've cut trees. And I've got little trees. I want to make the background trees darker, and that will make the front trees lighter. And this is where Sarah gets inky, and that's okay. You could use a tissue if you wanted to. I don't care. We are just pushing those trees into the ink pad. And they're going to be equally inky on the back because my finger's inky. I know that's going to be covered. Right, so we're just going to let that sit a minute because obviously it is super, super wet, and I can then do the next technique. Let me just wipe this off on a Kleenex. Okay. All right, so we're just going to let that sit just a second. Now, I know that not all of these trees are even, but it doesn't matter. It's going to dry way lighter than that, so don't panic. I know it looks super dark. I've already cut out these trees with the dies. I showed you the dies already, and I've already put the 3D foam tape on the back of these just to save time. Now, this is the piece that I stamped already, and you can see, if I hold it up to the camera, that water image. We do also have a water die cut. So on this piece, I'm actually showing you the difference between the two. So you can choose, you can stamp your water images, or if you have the dies, you can die cut the images. It's entirely up to you. I'm going to stand up and just make sure that you can see the difference online. There you go. So it makes such a difference between the two. And you can see on this one, I've already gone ahead and torn it. And I'm going to do the same on this piece here now. So people are always worried about tearing. I always cut my cardstock so I'm going to be able to tear off around 1/4 of an inch. Okay, hang on, I'm going to stand up again so I'm closer and then I know you can see it. What you do is you tear towards yourself, okay? So, and you can control it, and you can come down, you can pull it up, you can have it straight. The nice thing about tearing cardstock is when you've done it, it means that that layer on the top is now thinner. Don't get one hand and just pull, because if you do that, you're going to end up tearing at an angle, but you can control how you tear it. And like I said, it now means that this leading edge is now thinner. So if you want to, you can now roll it. Just pull it forward. I'm literally just dragging my finger across it. And again, that gives some more texture. Gosh, I love my job. I really do. I love to show you guys new things. I hope this is teaching you something new. And if you're new to my page, or whether you're not new or whether you're new or old to this page, please follow me. There's a like and a follow button. So please do that, and then it will notify you when I post more photos. All right, so this is still wet. I'm just leaving that. While I'm doing that, I am going to add some 3D foam tape to the back of this, and I'm going to do a combination of the large and the small stamping dimensionals. So obviously you don't want, because there are little holes for detail in this, you don't want to be able to see that white stamping dimensional through a hole. So just bear that in mind when you are putting this on the back. Okay, we'll just get this all ready, just like I did with the photo mats, just so you're ready to just start sticking stuff down. You don't want to decide where to put something and then have to stop because you need to put foam tape on the back. I like to prepare everything and then just start sticking and gluing, as my nephew used to say when he was little. Auntie Sarah, are you sticking and gluing? Yep, that's what I'm doing. Sticking and gluing. He was only little at the time. I think he was about 7. He's now 30. So that crept up on me fast. I probably need a piece in the middle there too. Because again, we don't want sag. It's better to have too much than not enough. Okay, and you don't have to pull the backing off all of them. Sometimes I'll just do the top and bottom and not in the middle, because all it's doing is supporting it. Okay. Talking of 3D foam tape, I'm going to put it on the top of my mountain as well. And if you notice these mountains, when the die cuts, can you see how it's lifted up some of these areas? So cool. So again, we're going to just try and stick it so that it still has that dimension. You don't want to glue it all closed. So we'll just put it along the top edge. I'm going to glue the bottom edge flat, and that way it will curl up. You've seen me do this all the time. We do it all the time. So that's a technique you've seen me do before. I could use some bigger pieces, but some of these cuts are so narrow, I want to try and fit between them. Okay, so again, I have used that single die, if you remember. Let me just fish it back so you can see it. That's this little mountain peak here. And what I'm going to do, I've cut this cardstock so that they're the same length, because to make it easier, we are just going to line up all the bottom edges, right? We want this to be as easy as possible. So by lining up those bottom edges, you haven't got to worry about whether it's too high or too low. Okay, so that's why I did that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to peel off the backing of those 2 sections, line them up on my mat so I know that they're straight, and then glue those 2 pieces together. So now my whole mountain range is complete. I can also come in with just a dab of adhesive along there and just stick the bottoms together, just so it doesn't move. But now I have my mountains. My trees, we're gonna go big tonight with 3D foam tape. Shocker, I know. If it doesn't have 3D foam tape on it, did Sarah actually make it? Probably not. The more 3D foam tape, the better. It doesn't matter. It's not going to affect your photo albums or your scrapbooks in any way, shape or form. I have always used a ton of 3D foam tape in my books, and it just makes such a difference. Okay, so 3D foam tape between this layer. And if you think about it, it's no deeper than it is here. There's 1 layer of 3D foam tape here. There isn't any at the bottom. Now there's a layer at the bottom. Okay. Yep, they're all off. So again, we're just going to line up that bottom edge like so. Okay, here is my water. And as I say, I just curled it just by rubbing it. So I'm just going to lie it flat. I'm not going to put any 3D foam tape behind that. So we'll just use a tape runner behind that piece. I hope you're all learning some techniques tonight. I hope I'm teaching you something new. So this is similar to the card, but we're amping it up a little bit. We're bactionizing it. Now, I have cut my ribbon, which again is right here. So this is some pretty ribbon. We're combining ribbons. This is called the Shaded Spruce and Soft Seafoam Satin Ribbon. So as you can see, it's two-sided and it has that stitched edge. Look at my green fingers. See, it matches my green fingers. It is so, so pretty. 165234 is the reference number for that one. And it is so pretty. We're actually going to use the lighter side, and to adhere it, all I'm going to do is I'm going to just put some adhesive on those corners. You could run a drop of adhesive right in the center there just to anchor it if you wish. I would not use any liquid adhesive on here because it's satin. It will sink into the fibers and you will get glue marks on it. So don't use a liquid adhesive, just use 3D. You could use 3D foam tape, you could use glue dots, or you can use your tape runner. It's not going to go anywhere, all right? So this piece is now complete to go on my page. So let's just pick up all my trees and dump them on the layout, ready to go. And let's add my final few pieces. Okay, so here is my scene. We'll just pull that bit of thread that's just off the end of the ribbon. So let's just poke that up. All right, so I think we're just going to move it up a little bit. So let's have a look. Let's just measure it and see where it's going to be. I'm going to keep it the same 2 inches in from the edge of the page there, but I am going to bring it up a little bit, I think. Let's just look at where my trees are going to go, because we're going to put the trees on there. And I think we'll put some trees here. And then we'll put some, oops, the 3D foam tape stick. I've got 3D foam tape inside the end of my finger. We're going to put another tree over there. And then we'll put a little tree here. Oh, I like this. Actually, we'll put that tree there. And then I can't decide whether to put let the adventure begin there or put it, I still think I like it over here. Okay. Decisions. This is the hardest bit, right? Is deciding where to put the... I still think I like it over there. Yep, we're going to put it over there. Okay, so let's glue this down for a start. So now I've decided where I'm going to put it. So we're just going to put adhesive over the middle. I'm going to put another piece of 3D foam tape here just to make it pop up, because we want our mountain range to be raised up a little bit. Okay, so I am actually going to eyeball it because I have this line down here to follow. So we're going to pop that there. Ooh, I likey. Me likey a lot. Okay, let's take the backing off for these trees, because we know where the trees are going to go. The trees aren't the issue. It was just the words that I couldn't quite decide where to put. Okay, oops. Let's pull the back off that one. All right, yeah, we're going to bring these down a little bit. Yep, nice. Okay, let's stick the words down. Let the adventure begin. And I've only put adhesive at the top because we're sticking it there, and I'm going to put a piece of 3D foam tape at the bottom to support it. Otherwise, it will sag against the cardstock. It'll bend over, which we don't want. So we're bringing it down just a little bit. Yes, now that blue is at the same level as the water, so it kind of follows that blue across. I like that a lot. Okay, more 3D foam tape. Of course it needs more 3D foam tape. This is Sarah, right? And then we'll put some gems in it. We'll stick the rest of the trees down and we'll be done. Look at us go. I hope you like this layout. I really do. Let's move it actually onto the camera. That would help as well, wouldn't it? Okay, so that way that'll come across the trees slightly. Yes. We need our little tree here. Me likey. Let's just peel that 3D foam tape off. Yes, that is some skinny pieces of 3D foam tape on the back of here. Do I want it in the middle? Yes, I do. Like so. Okay, let's stick this other little tree down at the end. So it looks like the trees are running by the water. Oh, that is so pretty. Hang on, let me move it in a bit so that it goes between the trees behind it. We don't want to cover the trees that are in front. Okay, so now we'll just pop these 2 trees here next to my journaling spot. Doesn't matter that it's sticking to the journaling spot because you're going to write around it. It's not like when you add it to a photograph. We'll bring it almost to the edge of the page. And then one last little tree. Oh yes, this side. Me likey. Okay, gems. Now, if I was gems, where would I have put them? Right here. See, look at me getting all organised. Are you impressed? So, on this card, so you can see there are 3 different colours. There's a copper colour, a gold, and then a pewter. And I used the pewter gems on this card here. That I thought they looked really nice. Because I've actually added the gold twine on here, that gold ribbon, I'm going to pull the gold gems in for this. So, hold still. Let's put them on here. I think we'll put one there. Oops. There we go. And then we'll put a larger gold one here. I know you could mix them if you wanted to. All right, so the other pieces that I cut ready is I had some additional green cardstock and some additional of the basic beige and then a little scrap of the paper. And I think I want to put something up here. Just some little tags, but I didn't know how long I wanted them. Not very, so that's why I haven't cut them. So what we're going to do is we're going to glue them down and then trim them off level with the edge of the page. Okay, this one can come down to there. We'll do this one next. Piece of ribbon in it, and that one can come down like so. Okay, let me just trim those off. Ready? You know the trick. Flip your artwork over and then follow the line of the base, and then that way it will be the perfect size. And then we're going to add this bit, but I'm going to add it up on 3D foam tape because it will give it a bit of dimension. And I probably don't need more than one, oops, stuck to my nail, one of those. If I need some more, I'll stuff it in behind, but I probably don't. Okay, I like that. So let's flip this over and do that. And yes, I probably do just need one. So the trick to doing this, pick up your 3D foam tape, just lift it up, slide it underneath, and then stick it down, and then you can pull out. Got my tweezers, you can just pull out that covering and we are good to go. And then that gives me another space that I can put a gold gem like that. And then we will put a couple, oops, put a couple down here just to tie it in. There. I like it. I love these. These are the adhesive back metallic gems, 163780. There you go. So that wasn't so bad, was it? 33 minutes, is it? Yep, just over half an hour to make a layout, and I'm super happy with it. I love it. I would love if in the comments below you would tell me your favorite part or your favorite technique on this layout. It is so much prettier in person than it is on camera. The camera never does it any justice, but I hope you really, really like it. So tell me what your favorite technique or your favorite part of this layout is. Make sure you like and follow, and I would love it if you would share this video to your page and share it with your friends so that they can be inspired to make this cute layout with the Scenic Adventures. Head on over to my website at sarahbatkin.stampinup.net and you'll find all of this and more, and especially with our 50% off your buy one get one 50% off sale. So see you next Tuesday. Bye.